Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor. Yah, Bashim, Yahushua, Bashim, Kakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders in Great Millstone. Peace and salutations, you brothers out there, Jesus' word and truth and sincerity on the highways and hedges, and shalom to the hopeful elect, the 1/3, the nation of Israel. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, you are the Israelites. I'm going to do a video here on this demonic, evil, vile, nasty woman named Kamala Harris. Okay, and she's getting blitzed all up on the news right now. And then when I say who's going after her is mainly so-called black people, all right, Israelites. Okay, and there's a lot of, they're not necessarily, they are Israelites, but they're still in their Gentile state. But so-called black people aren't falling for it, okay? They're not falling for this Trojan horse, Kamala Harris. And all you have to do is do what? Look at her track record. Look at the things she said. Look at the things she's done. And that's all you need to do to see let's see the true character of a person or individual. And we do the same thing when it comes to the so-called white man. You so-called white people, you Edomites. And you don't like it, man. You say it's hateful. Well, let's look into Kamala Harris, man, okay? We're going to deal with her this time. And, of course, we'll go into you so-called white people. I'm going to play this video, okay, because I'm going to read this tweet. It says, Kamala Harris at an event hosted by the Commonwealth Club in 2010, explaining her decision as San Francisco District Attorney to get tough on truancy. Critics of truancy crackdown say such efforts unfairly target poor parents and children without actually helping students. So, truancy is when children skip out on school. They call it truant. You get truancy notice. And I remember that when I was going to school, they started doing that here in San Jose. Okay, in the South Bay. And they're doing it. Why they're doing that? Because it strictly deals with Israelite kids, okay? The so-called white man, you never hear about white families going down for truancy unless they're living in the hood and they're actually Israelites, through the spirit, because there's a lot of so-called, there may be an Italian or a Eastern European type dude or an Irish type Jake, that's just living in the hood his whole life, and he's catching that same hell. But from my experience and understanding, and especially being growing up in high school out here, it was always Issachar, where I stayed at, that was skipping out on school, And then in San Francisco, it's mainly Judah up there and Issachar, but this mainly gets on the so-called black man, okay? The black youth, men, okay, from the tribe of Judah, mainly, and the woman too, because the woman be skipping out on school. So if your kids are skipping out on school, what she would do, she would imprison them, man, fine them, already poor. So I'm going to go in this video, read some tweets, and read some scriptures.
I would not be standing here were it not for the education I received. And I know many of us will say the same thing. And I believe a child going without an education is tantamount to a crime. So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy. Well, this was a little controversial in San Francisco. And frankly, my staff went bananas. They were very concerned because we didn't know at the time whether I was going to have an opponent in my re-election race. But I said, look, I'm done. This is a serious issue, and I've got a little political capital, and I'm going to spend some of it. And this is what we did. We recognized that in that initiative, as a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick. The school district has got a carrot. Let's work in tandem around our collective objective and goal, which is to get those kids in school. So, to that end, on my letterhead, now let me tell you something about my letterhead. When you're the DA of a major city in this country, usually the job comes with a badge. And there is often an artistic rendering of said badge on your stationery. So I sent a letter out on my letterhead to every parent in the school district, outlining the connection that was statistically proven between elementary school truancy, high school dropouts, who will become a victim of crime, and who will become a perpetrator of crime. We sent it out to everyone. A friend of mine actually called me and he said, Kamala, my wife got the letter. She freaked out. She brought all the kids into the living room, held up the letter, said, if you don't go to school, Kamala's going to put you and me in jail. Yes, we achieved intended effect.
Proud. And who is she imitating? A black woman. Yet running for Attorney General, Harris pushed anti-truancy bill which Schwarzenegger signed into law in 2010 to allow truancy to become a crime all its own. Before the bill, truancy had to be prosecuted as child endangerment. Under the bill, truant is defined as more than 3 unexcused absences in a school year. Parents of students who miss more than 10% of their classes would be offered state help, and then, if absences continued, will be subject to a $2,000 fine or a year-long jail sentence. It is worth noting that SF Gate credits DA Harris' anti-truancy push and SF with a reduction in truancy rates by 23% between 2008 and 2008. However, SF Gate did note the trend went back 3 years at least. Harris's push came in 2007. Unsurprising statistics from California in 1617 indicate that truancy is a problem disproportionately affecting communities of color, foster youth, homeless youth, students with disabilities. Tough on Truancy adheres to the idea that those groups just need more motivation. Kamala Harris continued on to describe how she brought charges against a single homeless mother of 3 who was working 2 jobs because her children were truant. And this was a success story.
Now start prosecuting you if we can't work this out. And through that initiative, we found cases like the case of the woman who was by herself, raising her 3 children, holding down 2 jobs, and homeless. She just needed some help. But by shining this infrared spotlight of public safety on the fact that her children aren't in school, we were able to figure that out, get her access to services that exist, and through that process, the attendance of her children improved. We dismissed the charges against her, and overall, we've improved attendance for this population in San Francisco by 20% over the last 2 years.
That's a bunch of bullshit, man. And this is I'm bringing this out because she's running for president, man. Okay? She's running for president, and all she's doing is doing what the so-called white man wants her to do. Okay, and that is what? Just to be an oppressor. Okay, this is Job 20:19. Because he hath oppressed and hath forsaken the poor, because he hath violently taken away an house which he buildeth not. And that's what you so-called white people do every day through your bullshit-ass laws set forth by demonic-ass people like Kamala Harris. But she's acting like she's trying to help people. You're the devil. You just want to oppress. Here it is. 3 children. She's homeless and working 2 jobs. You already know she's a so-called black woman or a Latina woman. Okay? And why is she in that state? Because she's cursed. All right? Not only that, the so-called white man is ruling over them. Let me get this real quick. This is Job 24:9. They pluck the fatherless from the breast and take a pledge of the poor. Yep, that's you so-called white people, man. And the wicked 2/3 that work up under you and do your bidding, okay? Like Kamala Harris. And she's a Benjaminite. If I go do a little background on her, she's a Benjaminite. Her father's from Jamaica, an immigrant, and her mother is East Indian, an Elamite, I believe. And she just announced her campaign for presidency in Oakland, where she claims she's from, just yesterday. And we were out there in Oakland as well, teaching the word. I'm bringing out the prophecies. And so her going into Oakland, her pushing that she's a black woman, she's here for the so-called black and brown people of the country. Jake ain't falling for it, man. Okay? Everything that's happening, man, is leading to a boycott of America, right? By Israelites, okay? It's gonna get to the point where you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, it's gonna be too crystal clear for you to even deny that the white man's a racist. He's the devil. The white man's gonna make it crystal clear for you that he's the devil, man. Okay, all you people out there that want to act like he's good, there's good white people out there, there's good. He's gonna show you, man. Okay, he's been showing you. But then when he shows his horns, man, rolls in on you, people, it's gonna be far too late. Let me read this one. Okay, I'll go into that real quick. But this real quick, Judge Joe Brown, and he is a straight up Jake, of course, and he up on Twitter gassing everybody, man. And the main people he goes after is the wicked homosexual leftist Democratic elite, and also just the bug outs like Kamala Harris, because she's a bug out. Okay, she's on a power trip, and you can see that by the way she speaks, and then how she got up into the position she's in, because she was blowing on Willie Brown, and he put her up in all those spots in San Francisco. Interesting context of her lament over illegal mothers being separated from their children after she'd done the same thing to many black mothers. Kamala Harris's career as AG was built on truancy and separation of black children and families. And Judge Joe Brown, he's a judge. Okay, he's been in the court system. And she's the AG. She's been a prosecutor. She was the AG of San Francisco. Then she became the Attorney General for the state of California. And then after that, she became senator. When Barbara Boxer left, she's senator right now, and now she's trying to be president. Okay? But if she goes all the way, I don't see this place going too much further, but she's proof that it's all about Californication, right? Making the rest of the country like California, a complete shithole. Okay, what was once a lovely, plentiful paradise is now a steaming pile of shit. Okay? And this man right here, her supporters do not like when we mention that she was prosecuted black and brown families because the kids was missing schools. That's one of the most disgusting prosecutors in the country. And she bragged about it. And there's this hashtag called Tangibles 2020 and No Black Agenda Vote, no vote. Jake is waking up. But man, come on. You shouldn't vote any damn ways. Here it is. Pandering. Too many unarmed black men and women are killed. And too many black and brown Americans are locked up. From mass incarceration to cash bail to policing, our criminal justice system needs drastic repair. Wait, you were AG of San Francisco, man. You were AG of California. You didn't do a goddamn thing. You made it worse. And he repeatedly worked to keep an innocent man in jail who had already served more than a decade for a crime he didn't commit. That's a Jake she didn't let out, even though the DNA test proved that it wasn't him. Repeatedly opposed meaningful reform of the state's uniquely harsh three strikes policy, disproportionately affecting black men. Her Republican opponent was more liberal on the issue. And that's exactly, I believe the picture, this is from I'm going to go to that account after, because it's her with Netanyahu. Kamala Harris opposed Supreme Court ruling fighting to release nonviolent criminal California inmates. Resisted efforts to make her office investigate police killings, to the frustration of many Jakes in California. Complete dirtbag, man. All right? A complete and utter dirtbag she is. Okay? And why is she a dirtbag? Because she does what the white man does. Okay? Wicked, evil shit. Oppression. Okay? Because this whole court system, this whole you call it a justice system, but all it is an oppression system on who? Designed to destroy the Israelites. Okay, because you so-called, it may be the same written law, but it's judged differently in your bullshit ass court system. You give Esau so many years, but you'll put Jake away for good. Okay, this is Psalms 10 and 2. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices they have imagined. Yeah, you pridefully persecute us. And because here it is, we're telling you, hey man, the court system's wicked, the police are wicked. Yet the so-called white man, he doesn't believe that. He thinks everything's fine. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Americans, you commit too much crimes. You commit more crimes. That's why. If you didn't commit any crimes, you wouldn't be going to jail. That's how the white man feels about it, man. That's a prideful, wicked thing to say. The wicked in his pride doth persecute the poor, that they be taken in devices that they imagine. That's what's happening to you Edomites, all right? You need to put those guys in jail. You're going to go to jail soon, devil, all right? Oh yeah, look at them. They're all on crack. They're all on drugs. It's their fault. Now look at you Edomites. You're all on opium. You're all weirdos. You have drag kids. For the wicked boasts of his heart's desire, and blessed the covetous, whom the Lord abhorreth. The wicked, through the pride of his countenance, will not seek after the Most High. The Most High is in not all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. And beautiful lesson done by the elder brother Yahweh call on grievous. And that's exactly what the court system is. It's grievous, man. And all his ways are grievous. Everything you do is hell, man. That's a spiritual. I'm going to go back into it because that was heavy. In the Kabal, to twist, whirl, dance, writhe, fear, tremble, travail, to be in anguish, be pained. Okay? To writhe and travail, to bear, bring forth, to wait anxiously. To be made writhe, to be made bare, to be brought forth. Whirling, suffering, torture, to be distressed. Okay? And that's everything you do. All the so-called white man's ways are twisted. Okay. The dance. What do they say when you don't want to answer a question? Why are you dancing around the question? Are you being grievous? You're being like the so-called white man. You don't want to be straightforward. You can't be truthful. You got to twist everything, and all of that does is bring pain, anguish, suffering. Okay, and that's all. That's your ways. Okay. Twisted, turned around, and the so-called white man, his ways are turned out, man. They're totally against the scriptures. And if you go with the white man and do any of his ways, you're turned out. Next thing you know, you're going to be doing all kinds of drugs, homosexual acts, okay? Just believing and teaching all kinds of wickedness. That's what these people end up happening if you follow the ways of the so-called white man. you forsake the Lord. It says his ways are always grievous, thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. He saith in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And that's why they put that Kamala Harris up in there, man. Because nobody wants to vote for an Edomite unless you're a guy like Trump. You can rile the troops. But Kamala Harris, they think they're coming slick. Everyone knows about this woman. She's a devil. She's an evil, wicked person. And should not be in any type of leadership. Not only because she's a woman, first and foremost, but because she's done nothing but push the so-called white man's agenda to its full potential. Harder than the white man would. And we read that when they said the Republican guy wants to get rid of the Republican guy wants to get rid of the Slovakia. The Republican guy wants to get rid of the 3 strikes law. And everybody knows that 3 strike law is pure BS, man. Designed to put our people in prison. And when you put a so-called black man in prison, a so-called Latino man in prison, what happens? There's no one there in the household to watch over the family. And that's what the court system does, okay? It leaves everyone fatherless. He lieth in the wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net. Yep, and that's exactly what happened. All right, that's exactly what the so-called white man does. He's sitting in the lurking places, the villages. You know that, man. You could, when you're driving the freeway, Esau's there lurking. Okay, in the secret places that he murder the innocent. That's what you so-called white people do. All right, you go into the secret places, do your serial killing. You have all kinds of deep underground pedophilia rings. Okay, you do all kinds of sex trafficking. All right. Oh, you have all kinds of dark web stuff. You're just killing people, selling body parts. People, cannibalism, blood drink, all kinds of wicked shit. That's you so-called white people, man. But the main thing is that your eyes are privily set against the poor, man. So your main target is the Israelites, man. You don't look at a so-called Chinese man or a so-called Asian dude. The Elamites, the Moabites, Ammonites, you don't look at them like that. But when it comes to Israel, you see Jake, your eyes are privily set against us, man. You lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him to his net. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. That's right, and that's exactly what happens. Okay? You lie in wait to catch us. You set up what you do and how you lie in wait. You get people like Kamala Harris to pass bullshit ass laws to oppress us, man. This is Psalms 12:5. For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith the Lord. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him. And that's what's happening, man. The oppression has gotten to a whole new level, but it's going to get to the level where they're going to be instituting the RFID microchip. All right? And that RFID microchip is going to be pushed heavy on who? Who do you think they're going to come at hardest? You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? It's supposed to be a cure for all of your ills, okay? Oh, you take this chip. It's going to give you a better mortgage. We'll give you credit for a down payment on a mortgage. We'll get you a free Popeye's chicken certificate. You know, you'll get You get a free flight back to Mexico. Whatever, man. They're gonna push that chip on you, man. For the oppression of the poor, for the sighing of the needy, now will I arise, saith the Lord. I will set him in safety from him that puffeth at him. But yeah, when that goes down, the Most High is actually gonna set the elect, the Most High's chosen in safety, man. You devils ain't gonna be able to puff at us no more. Come at us with that bullshit, man. Your wicked devices, and like I read earlier, you're gonna get caught up in them. Psalms 37:14. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and needy and to slay such as be of upright conversation. Hey, and that's what the so-called white man's doing now, okay? He's starting to begin that by putting the Israelites on the mainstream media, saying that we're instigating. Why is it anyone going after us? What we're doing should be illegal. It's hate speech. They want to slay us because we have upright conversation. We're bringing out the wickedness of the so-called white man. That's upright conversation. The sword shall fall into their own heart, and their bow shall be broken. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord holdeth the righteous. That's right. And what's the arm of the wicked? America, right? And America is broken. It's broken, man. And all these people are talking about the system. System is broken. Everyone's saying the system ain't broken. It's working just fine. We're in the New World Order, okay? We're in it. The so-called white man's on his way out of here. All right? There's going to be a World War III soon. All right? I saw a thing earlier on that guy John Bolton. He had on his notepad, it said he's ready to go to Colombia, send troops down to Colombia and talk with Afghanistan. So that dude's making moves, man. All right, while everyone else over here just bugging out. That dude planning on starting and getting ready for World War III. Okay, this is Psalm 72:4. He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor. And we're seeing that right now, all right? But it's going to happen when the Most High raises up his elect, okay? And when Yahweh Shai returns to the mighty angels, and when the Lord calls out a Leviathan, okay? And when the Most High has the earth itself rise up against them, an earthquake. Oh man, the Midwest, they got them snowstorms right now. Them people about to freeze to death. All right. He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the children of the needy, and shall break in pieces the oppressor. All right. So Kamala Harris, she's gonna be broken in pieces, okay? Because she's an oppressor. All right. And if you're a cop, you're an oppressor. There ain't no way around it, all right? Psalm 82:3. Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. All right? And that's what we're hoping for, all right? And we know it's going to happen. Because who's the poor? Who's the fatherless? It's not them gutter rats out there in the land of Israel, okay? It's not these Ashkenazi so-called Jews, as they like to call themselves. All right? They're not poor, man. They're not fatherless. They all have rabbis. They have synagogues. This is talking about you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Defend the poor. And I'll read the whole chapter. The Most High standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth among the gods. How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the person of the wicked? Yeah, because it seems like damn, man, why are we getting it, you know? And you letting these wicked-ass Edomites run rampant. Not anymore. I see Esau looking through out here, man. You turn on the news, Esau's the one wilding out. He's the one going around shooting it up. Like 5 Edomite shooters just shot it all up. Yet, we're still the face of criminality. This white man's the devil the Bible speaks of, all right? I don't know how he was able to trick y'all into thinking he's not that. But hey, it's only given unto them who is given. Defend the poor and the fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I've said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O power, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all nations. And that's exactly what's going to happen. The Lord's going to judge is going to judge the earth. And the nation of Israel, we're going to inherit all you nations as slaves. Okay? And I'm going to bring this last tweet out. This is, I don't even know who this woman is, but she makes valid points. Again, the justice system is not broken. It is a system that has been designed to criminalize the poor, black and brown, and to funnel them into prisons where they serve as cheap, invisible labor force. It is a two-tiered system that applies different rules for the rich and white, or so-called white, the Edomites. Since the time of the chattel slavery, the United States justice system has operated as one of the primary means for maintaining white supremacy and racial caste in America. Anyone who doesn't grasp this fact doesn't grasp the reality of racism in America. And that's the point, right? The so-called white man has the prison system set up strictly to oppress us. And if you don't understand that, you don't see that, you are a bug out, man. That's pretty much it. Folks accept the mass incarceration of so-called black people as normal and acceptable because y'all buy into the racist ideology that black people are more criminal in our behavior. Meanwhile, Trump can be a racist, coke-sniffing rapist and traitor so long as he's a wealthy Edomite. We really should stop calling it the justice system and refer to it as the court system, which is far more accurate depictor. So yeah, as you can see, man, the word is out here, all right? And then you so-called white people and our people, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Americans, the information is out. You should know. You should have been known. All right? We're at the time where you gotta know that you're an Israelite, right? All right? It's beyond just knowing all this. This is standard knowledge right here. Okay, but it helps you understand and see it, visualize the way the so-called white man uses his deception on people. Okay? Because Esau, he thinks everything's good, fine, and dandy, man. Just wait till we got your asses in slavery. Yeah, until next time, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor. Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Ashem Kadash.